going on, second platoon? Hey, Martinez. Quiet down, bro. All right, so this is going on. So we got our situation. Once these Bradleys stop moving. All right, so we got our situation. So coming off that last mission we did back in yonder, back around Thanksgiving time, the PLAA forces, North Korea and China, they've since moved back beyond the DMZ, back into North Korea. We pushed them back, and now the first cab is the first line of defense. And so we are here to take them out and push them back, prevent them from actually coming back and reorganizing, because right now they're unstable. They're trying to reorganize, and we are going to attack them while they're on their heels, to keep them on their heels and keep pushing them back into North Korea so we can take this terrain, secure the DMZ, prevent any interference with South Korea. All right, so let's go into next part. So what is the enemy force looking like? We got two possible ZBDs or ZBLs. We also have LPOPs. Yeah, thank you. We also have LPOPs potential. There's going to be an LPOP in this position. The reason I didn't mark it off, I'll get to that a little bit later. We got LPOPs potentially up here further into the next grid square, about 1 kilometer or so up. We also have an enemy platoon that's going to be right here, potentially. We don't know exactly where they're at, but they're going to be somewhere in this vicinity. And then there's another enemy platoon potentially in this vicinity up here, a couple kilometers up from our SP. Now, they could be sitting in valleys, they could be sitting on the high ground. LPOPs are likely on the high ground. Enemy platoon, ZBD, I mean, likely sitting over here. So these are things we got to worry about. Enemy platoon, they could be mechanized. They likely are mechanized. So that's stuff we got to worry about. Now, our area of operations, what are we working in here? So this is our area of operations on this TMK, as you can see here. So it's about 2 kilometers wide, talking about 3-4 kilometers long. In our area of operations, our west is bounded by the passage of lines with Bravo Company. To the east, we have our passage of lines bounding our east side of the area operations. This is the passage of lines with the 3rd platoon. We are 2nd platoon. To the south, there's a screen set up here, just to the south of our objective off this TMK, or not our objective, our AO. South of our AO is a screen. That is the boundary for our south part of our AO, and then the north part, way up here, this is our LOA. Is that around the end of the DMZ? It's gonna be our LOA. LOA is the north limit to our AO. There's a ridge line up here that we will use. Major terrain feature for that. All right, let's talk about some obstacles, or I'm sorry, area of interest first. So our area of interest, I'm extending it 1 kilometer out from every direction, every boundary of the AO. The reason 1 kilometer is because every side except for the LOA side is bounded by another adjacent unit. Those adjacent units are going to be working simultaneously with our operation. Anything they do could potentially affect our operation in terms of concealment, noise discipline, you name it. Those things could all potentially affect our operation. So our area of interest extends 1 kilometer past the AO. All right, now let's talk about some obstacles, guys. All right, so as I said, there's enemy infantry fighting vehicles, IFVs, scattered around on these roads and in these valleys. Some of them could be on the high grounds. They also have LPOPs likely on the high grounds here that we're going to take. There's 2 main hills that I'll get to in the key terrain here that'll identify those. There's also on these roads here, specifically this road up here, there's going to be some wire. Potentially, according to our lovely friend Google Maps, there's potentially a way to get through it. However, there will be a breach team, and I'll get to that in our task org here. And so there's wire here. That's a big note there. Also, steep cliffs. It's forested terrain. It's deciduous forest, coniferous trees. So coniferous forest, deciduous trees, whatever it is. You guys get the gist. We out here in it. so you can kind of see what we're looking at. So note that terrain so that we're not causing our own obstacles and our own hazards here. So all right, so key terrain with this. So there's a 3-way intersection around here in phase 1. So this intersection, we got 3 ways here. This is that grid coordinate, prepared copy. Grid coordinate, Charlie Hotel 02 tree 700 tree 791. It's a 10-digit grid. That grid coordinate for that intersection, that's going to be key terrain because it's a potential enemy avenue approach. We don't want to be bamboozled coming up on that when we find out that there's some ZBDs chilling right there for us, or an LPOP or something. The enemy, as I said, we don't know exact locations, so we got to be wary here. Keep that in mind, guys. All right, so we also got a hilltop at phase line WASP. So this phase line WASP is represented by this yellow string right here. Yellow string, phase line WASP. Take note of that. It's going to be very important, guys. Squad leaders, make sure you're on that. Hey, so phase line WASP. There's going to be a hilltop here, 165 right here. So this pine cone, so everyone can see, this is hilltop 165. It's a grid coordinate, prepare to copy. Charlie Hotel 02 tree 550 Fowler 826. That is that hilltop. That's key terrain. We're going to take that hill. It's probably an LPOP up there. Be ready for that. That lead element, we'll get to then. Be ready for that. And we're going to take that hill. That's going to mark off a difference in phase. So that's key terrain. Another key terrain, hilltop 119. Phase line Hornet, blue string right here. Phase line Hornet. That's the next one. Brothers, check that shit out, man. You're going to need that. All right, so phase line Hornet, hilltop 119 up here. Hey, so 119, that hilltop's gonna be important for the same reason. We're gonna take that hill, probably some ZBDs around there, enemy platoon potentially around here. In fact, I think according to our intel, enemy platoon is really close to that hill, if not on the hill. I think there's a compound up there, so be ready for that. We don't know again, but we're gonna find out. Hey, so that hill, we need to take that hill. That's key terrain. Also, so there's a ridge line around this northern line up here that we're gonna come off of. And that ridge line, the only reason I have it as key terrain because it's gonna be our way off of that, because there's kind of steep cliffs all around, so we don't want to fall off of that stuff. Okay, so all right, so let's get into task order so we can get into the mission and everything here. So our task order, let's come back here. All right, so let's check this out. Can you just come close here so they can see? You can always zoom if you need. So our task order, so we have scout squad attached to us, right? What's up, guys? There you are. There's our scout squad speeder right there. Hey, so scout squad, they're going to be in the lead element. So the way I have this task force broken down is there is the lead element. Lead element is security squad, which is third squad right here, and scout squad. You guys are going to be in squad column fire team wedge. That's going to be your order of movement. So scouts, I want you guys in front because you guys are good at that stuff, looking for things. And third squad, you guys are going to be right behind him in the squad column fire team wedge, right? So this is a traveling overwatch formation. That's all. I'm gonna have some space here. So that's my lead element. You guys are also going to be an EPW team for when you take contact first. That's your primary EPW there, okay? So next we got first squad and second squad. You guys are on the left and right flanks here of the main body. You guys are my assault element. First squad assault 1, second squad assault 2. Simple as that. So you guys are also going to be primary EPW for when you take contact first, secondary for when they take it first. Also, secondary EPW, or I'm sorry, secondary aid and litter. First squad, you'll be secondary aid and litter. Second squad, you'll be primary aid and litter. So, and again, to re-clarify, EPW, that's going to be whoever takes contact first. That's the primary for that. Alternates will be, so if scout squad takes it first, they're paired up squad here. Third squad will be alternate. If first squad takes contact first, they're obviously primary EPW. Second squad, they'll be the alternate because they're the paired ones. Weapons, you'll just be alternate, and then I'll assign primary EPW being first squad to support weapons. So first squad leader, and if weapons takes contact from the back, which is probably unlikely, they're going to be the primary for EPW, and then you will be their secondary. So take note of that. All right, hey, so weapons, you guys are the support by fire. Now, as we can see here with these freaking Humvees that are sitting around here, we got some, you know, just can't see them. It's too dark. So we got a weapons section attached with us here. We got the squad leader sitting here. Awesome dude. Talked to him before. He's pretty cool. So yeah, so our weapons section, they got 2 Humvees, and they got 8 guys, 4 per Humvee. We got a Mark 19 up on one of them. So these guys are going to be aiding with support by fire with our weapons here when they're with us, and I'll explain why I say when as we get into execution. All right, so mission 2 levels up, that's going to be our battalion. Hey, so 2 levels up. So for the battalion, their mission is no later than 11 May at 0300. They're attacking to defeat the enemy in order to enable unimpeded passage of the division main attack through the frontal block. Their intent is to open avenues of approach so that the 2nd Brigade Combat Team can pass through. We're relying on stealth and deception. That's that commander's intent. He wants stealth and deception all the time. You'll find that that's consistent amongst all the commanders in this operation too. So, one level up, that's company, Alpha Company, right? Alpha Company's mission is to attack to clear enemy forces in zone in order to prevent interference with division main attacks. So that's what we're a part of here in our adjacent 3rd platoon, and then we got 1st platoon way over to the east of us. We're all attacking simultaneously in zone to help the division in their main attack. So now let's get rid of this right here. Don't need that anymore. Hey, drink water. You're gonna need it. Promise you that. All right, hey, so let's talk about now our mission. All right, boys and girls. So 2nd platoon, Alpha Company, that's us. Conducts movements of contact in order to destroy enemy platoons and LPOPs and clear the west side of the company zone no later than 0330 starting at 0330 at 11 May 2023. Doing this in vicinity of this AO. Now, my intent is to conduct this mission with hey, you need me to repeat that? No, you don't? Okay. Hey, so my intent is to conduct this mission with stealth, just like our Alpha Company commander, so that we should not be spotted or engaged first. I do not want to be decisively engaged. We must decisively engage the enemy. Compromising stealth will sacrifice the integrity of this operation and the company's mission as a whole, and potentially give up the other platoon's positions. So we must be as stealthy as possible. That is my intent. I want to do this with a few casualties and as much stealth as possible, because this is going to be risky. All right, so end state of this mission is the enemy in the AO are destroyed. That includes LPOPs, ZBDs, enemy platoons dismounted. Anyone out there are destroyed, and the battle position, and we set up a battle position at the LOA. That is our end state. All right, let's talk about some key tasks to get this thing done. All right, so key task number 1, identify LPOPs and destroy them. If we cannot do that, we are screwed. Hey, so again, we're gonna identify LPOPs and destroy them. If we don't identify them and we can't destroy them, they're gonna be tracking us the whole time. We might get fires on us. We might get a ZBD coming at us. Who knows? We don't want that. So identify them and destroy the LPOPs. Second key task, we got to request permission to cross phase line WASP right here. Before we do that, we set up a security halt and we request permission. That's on you, RTO. Awesome. Next key task, conduct movements of contact between phase line WASP and Hornet. It's in right here. No later than 0430. 0430. All right, next key task, request permission to cross phase line Hornet after setting a security halt, of course. next key task, we need to breach this wire right here. And the last key task is we got to establish a battle position at the LOA. It's up there on that ridge line. All right, anyone need to repeat? Oh, we're good? Awesome. All right. Hey, so let's talk about the concept of operations here now, how we're getting this thing done. Hey, Martinez. I was telling him to tell you, bro. All right, let's come back here. All right, so concept of operations. Phase 1. All right, so assault is going to be the main effort. That's the first and second squads, if you can't remember. Assault. They are the main effort throughout this entire operation. The reason I have them as main effort is because they're going to be my maneuver element. They're going to be the ones that move during any movements of contact and are going to be flanking, doing whatever to attack the enemy. Supporting effort is going to be support by fire, along with the main body, the lead body here, the lead element. They are going to be supporting effort because they're going to be responsible for fixing the enemy. All right, so how are we going to do this, you may ask? So phase 1, let's talk about that. Begins with Bravo Company is basically going to use a lot of artillery and shell this whole area here to potentially eliminate a LPOP that our intelligence says is in this vicinity. That cue is going to be our cue to move. We are going to start and we're going to move from SP here. I'm going to use the PL indicator here so I don't have to pick up all these pieces. And we are going to move forward. We're going to move about 800 meters to the north, northwest. Is that right? Northwest. So we're going to move that about 800 meters to the northwest, and conduct movement to contact. Hey, Martinez, don't worry. I'll talk about how the branch plans work with movement to contact when we get to the scheme maneuver. I'm just going through the phases right now, and we'll talk about that after. So we're gonna move north, conducting movement to contact. We're gonna have to do some LDA crossings here. And now what's gonna happen is these teams right here, the scout squad and my third squad security here, they're gonna have some javelins up front. And now these LDA crossings are gonna be kind of sketchy. I know they are. We're gonna be kind of in some flat to highest ground. I'm doing that on purpose because I don't want to, we got these Humvees coming with us, and so I don't really want to be going through any ridges. So we're gonna be moving along these roads with the platoon just off of the road because I do want to search the forest, and plus I don't want to just be walking on an LDA with the platoon. And so these Humvees, I'm going to use this indicator as well. These Humvees are going to be on the road, of course. We're going to be moving through on this kind of flattish to highest ground here. It's very forested, probably pretty hilly. And we're going to be moving. We're going to have to cross some LDAs here. So, hey, javelins, be ready, man. If you see some ZBD, I just light it up, man. That's all you got to do. I don't want none of them interfering with us. And I don't want them interfering with my Humvees, too, in this weapons section, okay? So we're going to be moving parallel with the weapons section. As they're moving on the road, we're gonna be moving to the forest just parallel with them so that we have them in line of sight, radio comms. We're gonna move past this LDA. Movement to contact again. We're gonna attack anyone we see. We're gonna eliminate them until we get up to phase line WASP, which will be the indicator of the end of phase 1. So, hey, this weapons section, this road kind of crosses out here. As you can see, there's two sections to it. There's a right side and a left side. They're gonna move up this right side here because it might give them a little bit more advantage of the valley that's just out of our AO, along the passenger lines with 3rd. And then we're gonna move up here. Now we'll have the high ground up here. If there's a ZBD over here that we missed, because we're only limited to a certain amount of movement distance here. If there's a ZBD we missed, when we're on this high ground, we can take it with the javelins. You guys got that, right? First squad, or I'm not first squad, third squad, scout squad, you two. Hey, if you see that ZBD when we're on that high ground, if it's off to the left here, or there's like an LPOP or something, you guys know what to do. You guys got the firepower capability for it, okay? So, yeah, and that's over here, I'm saying. So we're on this hill, right? If there's someone over here, we take them, okay? We got the high ground, but we're gonna clear this right side on foot here with the Humvees. That's my priority here. Then we'll take anyone over here as we can go. The reason I'm not going on this side is because the terrain is pretty restricted. It's too restricted for the Humvees. At least it's gonna take the platoon, like if the Humvees go on the road, it's gonna take the platoon a long time to go over here, and I don't wanna get in a firefight in like really crappy terrain, okay? All right, so phase 1 ends with us hitting phase line WASP here on the top of this hill, hill 119. All right, so RTO, you're gonna call up. What are you gonna call up? Yeah, you know, you're gonna call up, request, you're gonna give a sit rep, and you're gonna request permission to cross phase line WASP. We're gonna do that, obviously. We're gonna cross phase line WASP. All right, so now here's the thing. Weapons section, where you at? All right, bro. You guys are staying there. Sorry, man. Hey, so there ain't no roads to get you through here. I haven't found any real trails that are gonna be passable. I don't wanna risk moving you guys forward just to find out there's no other way to go. You guys got a high ground advantage here. You got up armored Humvees and 8 guys. So, and we already cleared this back section, and you got another company to this side, and you got another platoon to this side to back you up, plus a screen to the rear. So I'm not worried about you guys being on that high ground. I want you guys on that high ground so that you could be overwatch for us. So if you see something we don't while we're in these valleys and you know messing with the terrain down here, you guys can tell us. You guys got Mark 19s, you got big weapons, you can take on anything too. So you guys are gonna be our overwatch on this hill as we go. We're gonna stay in radio comms. We're gonna make sure we have a pace plan for you guys. We'll get to that command signal. All right, so phase 2, Humvees stay on the hill, 165. This phase starts with us crossing phase line WASP and moving into the next zone here, or moving into the next area here, named area of interest. All right, so so also to note, I'm gonna say it now and I'll say it again later. CCP is gonna be at the Humvees here. Once we hit here, it's gonna be traveling as we go, but it's gonna end here. You got that, Med? Awesome, bro. All right, hey, so phase 2 begins coming off of phase line WASP. Now we're in phase 2. We're in this next grid square, right? All right, so this phase begins. As I said with that, we are gonna move down this ridge line. There's gonna be a ridge line right here. We're gonna move down this. So it's kind of like the only safe place to move down. And plus I kind of want like eyes on everything. And so it's gonna give us a lot of vantage point. We're gonna move down there and we're gonna conduct a movement to contact until we reach phase line Hornet. Very simple. All right, so we're gonna reach phase line Hornet here, right? And we're gonna hit this hilltop 165. I'm gonna use this rock here. Hey, so 165, hill 165. We got those, you guys following along on your maps. So, excuse me, Chipotle. We're gonna hit hilltop 165 at phase line Hornet, and that's gonna mark the end of phase 2. So again, recap: cross phase line WASP, movements of contact through this area. We're gonna go straight off this ridge line here, and then we're gonna beeline it back this direction. So the direction for that, for the point man Rodriguez, yeah. Hey, so you're coming off this ridge line, you'll see it. It's gonna be northeast. We're gonna be going northeast up this ridge line. It's probably about 200 meters long, according to the map. And then we're gonna swing it once we get to the bottom of that ridge line, or like roughly to the bottom, like where we're clearly not. Jeez, there's a spider on me. To where we're clearly not like on the ridge line anymore, and like we're in the forest now. Once we hit that, about 200 meters out, we're gonna swing it left about 90 degrees. 90 degrees in your compass, and we're gonna start going northwest. We're gonna do that until we get to the top of this hill. We'll see the hill, so we're just gonna follow it there. So don't be too religious on your pace, because we're also doing movement to contact. I want your eyes up, right? All right, so we're gonna hit this hill. That's the end of phase 2. Okay, phase 3 begins with movement down from the hilltop 119 or 165. We're gonna cross an LDA. It's gonna require a breach team. Hey, so lead element, scout squad, you guys are gonna be required for the breach team. You guys are gonna provide your own breach team. It's probably gonna be some wire, maybe a fence. We might have to dig, we might have to do something like that, but just be ready with that to have your breach team. I want it quick. I don't want to be waiting too long there. We're gonna cross, we're gonna breach just like SOP. We'll set up a security halt, they'll breach it, and we'll cross it like we do in LDA, where we pick up and move through a file, and we come back out the other side. We'll set the security before as they're doing the breach team. That security squad, you're setting the security for them as they're breaching. And then main body moves, we pick up, go through, we file through, we breach this wire right here. Now, going back to enemy forces, just to remind you guys, there's possible enemy platoons and ZVDs in this vicinity. There's possibly one just off this hill here, possibly one on the hill as well. At least in LPOP at a minimum, I would suspect more, because now we're getting closer through the DMZ, close to the enemy territory, and close to where this enemy company is to our right at the adjacent unit there, 3rd platoon. So expect enemy up there. As we're breaching, we might end up having to react to contact, so remember your battle drills as well. All right, so once we breach there and move through the fence, we're gonna move between, there's an open danger area here by this big rock we can't move. We'll just use this big rock that we can't move to represent an open danger area. There's gonna be an open danger area over here, and then there's gonna be a linear danger area right here. This red line, this red and white line. We're gonna move right through the center of it, because I don't really want to mess around with either of those. However, we will keep our eyes out over here and over here, right? Enemy possibly there. Believe it or not, we're gonna conduct movements of contact as we move through there. Crazy, I know. I know. So, yeah. Hey, so we're gonna conduct movements of contact as we're moving, rimming like this ODA and this LDA right here. This phase is gonna end once we hit the LOA, limit of advance. All right, so I'm gonna move my indicator up here so you guys can see where we're at. All right, so we're gonna hit this LOA. This LOA is on a freaking massive ridge line, so I hope you guys have been running, because you're gonna be sucking wind. You know, we're a bunch of National Guard guys here, you know, like we're all like pro runners in the civilian side. Come on, I know you guys have been running. Hey, so we're gonna come up on this ridge line here. It's gonna take a lot of wind out of us, but we're gonna do it because we have to. And so once we hit this this LOA on this ridge line, that's gonna mark the end of phase 3. RTO, you're reporting all this stuff up to the company. Yeah, I know you know that. I'm just reminding you, bro. All right, so phase 4 begins with establishing a north-facing battle position along ridgeline, along this ridgeline right here. North-facing battle position. All right, so let me come back here, grab some indicators real quick. You guys can see.